explain it, I'm gonna have to like make something.
Reflection.
What? Reflection.
That's the only way you can become better. Welcome to CTFF Talks. My name is Yahaira, and I am the morning liaison. I oversee Central Unified, Mendota Unified, and Orange Center Unified morning programs. And what led me to CTFF was when I was a site lead at Sunset Elementary, the Fresno Unified School District. Half of my team, the tutors, were CTFF, and I've heard of CTFF. I've had friends that worked at CTFF, and one day one of the liaisons walked in and they were like, hey, would you be interested? A position opened up, and that was in 2022, and I applied, and now I'm here.
I started off as a sub because I needed a part-time job and I needed something to support me through school. Yeah. I ended up just getting the position. I subbed Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I fell in love with the kids the first day. I was like, this is a really fun thing to do. I enjoy working here. I love my coworkers. I love the site. And so then I just ended up opening my availability for my school schedule, and then I became a tutor. I was a tutor couple years. Then I became an assistant site lead, still all in Kerman. I stayed in Kerman the whole time. I became an assistant site lead, then shortly after a lead for the school I became a tutor at. So that was really nice at Sun Empire Elementary. And then from there, I became a liaison and they put me in morning. So it was a nice change because I've never experienced morning, never heard about it. So it was really nice to see that perspective. So today we're going to be doing a vision board.
This is the first, because I've never done one.
Me either, actually. Excited. Yeah, me too. I have never done one. It's going to be a vision board for what we want to vision for next school year. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. What's the biggest difference between morning and after school programs?
Difference is after school is the teaching fellow, the tutor, is the teacher. They're running their own classes. They are creating their own lesson plans. And for a morning program, it's more focused on supporting the teacher and grouped based. So the tutors get to, work in groups with the students, if they're struggling with ELA or math or any sort of subjects, and they also have the teacher there to help guide them, and they can learn from them too. So Joe, do you gain experience with lesson planning in the morning programs?
Yes and no. I feel like it varies from school to school, because I feel like that's the one thing, especially like after school is also like that, but for morning, every school site is just so unique, and just the culture and how they do things and what like the teachers need you there for. So I feel like some of my tutors do lesson planning, but the majority of them, they don't lesson plan, but they get to see that experience through teachers. Teachers will say like, this is what I have lesson planned for you, and what I need you to do today, like complete the task. And I feel like seeing that, like what the teacher has planned out and how they plan things, that's how they also can learn from that, like from the visuals of how the teacher does it, and also like seeing the teachers, how they run the class, of like the lesson plan way of how they, class management, how they do it. All right, so for this one, how can I build a collaborative relationship with teachers in my classroom as a morning tutor?
As a morning tutor, I would say, I know we have some tutors that are more introverts, but you gotta push yourself out there. I'm very much a social butterfly, so to me it comes easy. So I just try to give them advice and be the example, So sometimes they'll see me come into the classroom and I'll just kind of wave at them. If I see that they're busy, I'll just tell them I'm gonna hang in the corner. And if I feel like it's appropriate, I'll go and say hi to the teacher. So that cliche of like, you lead by example, it's so true. And so I'll just walk in the classroom, I'll say hi to the teacher if it's appropriate, and just kind of connect with them. Hey, I'm so-and-so. And it also gives them the opportunity, if they want to hype the tutor up that's in the classroom, that's their opportunity to do that. Or if they have concerns, then they have the opportunity to do that as well. So I hope that I set a good example by doing that, and hopefully that helps them to get out of their comfort zone and talk to the teacher more, because I feel like that teamwork in the classroom is so important.
Yeah.
You need to have...
It is.
You need to be on the same page with your teacher, and that way for the students, so that they can thrive. What's a big misconception about morning program?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I had to ask Myra about that one.
What was her answer?
Okay, Myra's our supervisor.
She's our senior liaison.
She's our senior liaison. So I shouldn't have asked her. I should know this, but I was really struggling with it. Also, it's my first year as a morning liaison. So I think I definitely agree with her. The biggest misconception is that our teaching fellows are teacher's assistants, which they're not. You know, I feel like a teacher's assistant, I think of like helping the teacher make copies, or like cutting things up for them, or not so much like student focused, but rather what the teacher needs as far as like materials or something, which yeah, you're still helping them, but anyways, not to go too off topic.
Like a TA in high school, like
yeah,
when you're in high school,
grading, all of that stuff.
Like, I need you to grade these papers, things like that.
Which is okay, but it has to be limited. Yeah, majority of our tutors' time should be going to the students. So working in groups with students. Again, if they need help with English, writing, pronunciations, anything like that, that's where the tutor's time should be going, is dedicating that safe space to teach them, you know, something that they've been struggling with, rather than going and print copies.
Yes, I agree. I actually have some school sites like that too, where the admin will tell my tutors, like, tell me if the teachers are making you run copies, because they want them being in the morning program. It's not. And you know what? That's something I need to work on. I feel like I always advertise like, oh, you're like a teacher's assistant, like the teacher's needs. And I feel like that's something I need to like word better, is because yes, you're there to assist and help the teacher, but your priority and your goal as a teaching fellow tutor is to help the students, and your time, like you said, should be dedicated to them, which is why we have a lot of, in the morning program, we have a lot called RTI sessions, which really stands for response to intervention, which is doing small groups with the kids. So I feel like a lot of them, that's the goal, I guess, and the idea of like a morning tutor is doing those groups with the students.
Since I do not have a site lead, who do I talk to when I need help?
Morning tutors, they don't have site leads. They only have their liaison, which is us. They have their site supervisor, which is a district partner on campus, which is, it could be a TSA, which is a teacher special assignment, the principal, the vice principal. Usually it's one of those. For who they need to talk to when they need help, it's always your site liaison. Your site liaison will always know where to direct you to. Personally, for me, I always tell my tutors that if I don't have the answer, I'm gonna go out there and find the answer for you, because I just always wanna make sure that they're taken care of, they're not feel stranded, left alone.
Yeah. We're your go-to. And if we're not here, Mayra's your number 2.
There we go, you're senior.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't wanna go to your liaison.
And you'll know. Yes, I can't emphasize enough, like, if you guys have questions, I think I tell this to everyone multiple times throughout the year, is yes, we can't be at one site every single day, but I can sure as heck prioritize you if you need me to. So if you feel like you need the extra support from me or guidance or anything, just let me know and I could put it in my calendar to go visit your site. You know, I have my own system, so I have my routine of making sure I hit every site, but I can still, again, prioritize you.
Do you ever get invited to sites? Like from your tutors?
I mean, they do ask me to visit more often, so yes.
Yes, I would say that's an invite.
Oh, okay.
I recently just had someone invite me out to their site. Usually they like to invite me because they're doing like a really fun lesson plan that day and they want me to see it. And I like when they invite me because it makes me feel more inclusive, because I don't get to be with the kids all the time. I miss being with the kids, and when they invite me out, I just feel like, I'm like, oh, you want me there? Type of deal. My classroom has a student who has a hard time paying attention during small groups. How can I use positive reinforcement to get him on track and not isolate the rest of the group?
The first thing I think of is give that student responsibility. So, you know, help them pass out pencils if they're doing like an arts and crafts project. Assign them to pass out the glues within their tables, or to pass out the papers, and making sure that they are, if there's a student that's maybe struggling with gluing something, for them to help them. I don't know, I think the more responsibilities you give them, the less time they have to not do what they should be doing. Okay, so we're done with our vision boards.
You wanna go first, or I'll go first?
You go first.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a heart, like, represents love, flowers growing, and that's what I want to implement in my tutors. Like, I want to see them grow. I've seen them grow. It's really amazing, how receptive they are and the advice they take in and pursue that at their sites. It's really great to see that. So yeah, that's just like a little bit of
my favorite one on my vision board is reflection, because I think, for me, you have to self-reflect. If you want to become better and work on your flaws, you have to self-reflect, like, because that's the only thing you have control over is yourself, your actions, what you say. You don't have control over what anybody else says.
So we would encourage you guys to also make a vision board coming into the new school year. Professionally, personally, however you guys want. It's really good way to like put it out there, and then hopefully, like, you know, it'll come true. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Joe, this was so much fun. And until the next time.